What is happening, y'all? Thank y'all again for joining the channel. If you're new to the channel, please consider subscribing or giving us a thumbs up if you like what you see and hear today. Today, guys, I'm out exploring in my backyard here in the hill country of Texas, and what I want to talk about is our Valiant XTD. So, as the title of this video implies, I want to talk about the best overland slash off-road, off-grid small camper trailer that you've probably never heard of. The reason being is that expedition trailers, originally they started out in Alaska and then moved down to lower 48 in Idaho, making these awesome trailers. And then, what I think happened is just, as the economy, the way that the economy has been going, a lot of these small trailer manufacturers simply just didn't make it. I think that's what happened, but again, it's only speculation. But I just want to talk about how awesome this trailer is and give y'all an overview because, again, like I said, I think it's the best overland trailer that you've probably never heard of. And the first thing that I want to talk about really is, why do we decide to go with Valiant trailers? So there's a lot of options out in the market. And what we were looking for primarily was something that was big enough for our family of four. It didn't feel claustrophobic and it didn't feel, like a coffin inside, right? We wanted something that could fit both of our kids and my wife and I, comfortably. And so when we looked at dimensions, really it left us with two options. It left us with Valiant trailers and Beam trailers out of Utah. When we kind of spec'd both trailers out with everything that we wanted, and we didn't want to make a lot of compromises on certain things. When we spec'd them out, the Valiant just came in at a lower price point, and honestly, that is why we went with Valiant. Just real quick, we also looked at Boreas trailers out of Colorado. Awesome trailers, but they were just too small for us. And then same with Canadian company Off-Grid Trailers. Make a phenomenal trailer, but they were just too small for us. And so it really came down to dimensions, and this Valiant was just hard to beat with everything that we could get into the trailer, what came with its standard, and then the dimensions inside, because it's actually a pretty good sized trailer. But first, let's just start with the construction. So I want to talk about how the trailer is made. We'll go and do a walk around of the exterior, talk about all the features, things that came standard, and then we'll go inside, take a look at the cabin, and then we'll also go ahead and take a look at the galley. So it has a rear galley here in the back, and we'll talk about that. So the chassis of the trailer is a powder coated steel chassis. It's super robust, and it has this large tongue platform where this custom box sits, but the whole chassis underneath is this powder coated steel. As you can see underneath, it has the Timbren axle-less suspension system. That's the 3500 HD. And then the exterior of the trailer, so this is powder coated aluminum. And then underneath, you still have that aluminum shielding, and it's pretty thick. It's probably like 0.8 inches. Really robust, really strong. We absolutely love it. But that's the exterior. So again, it's a steel, powder coated steel frame, and is also the skeleton of the trailer is also powder coated steel. So it's not an aluminum, frame with a steel chassis. It's a steel chassis with a powder coated steel frame, and then they use composite studs, and then on the inside the wall material is a sealed treated birch. And I'll talk about the interior and the wood construction, because there is some wood construction involved in this trailer. And I know right now in the industry there's this huge stigma about having wood construction, but we'll talk about that here in a bit. As you can see on the trailer, it does have these fender flares that stick out. These are steel, powder coated steel. You can step on them, you can stand on them, you can put gear on them. What I like to do is I like to put my shoes out here before I get into the trailer. You can put gear, you can sit down in the morning, grab a cup of coffee and then just enjoy the view, right? Absolutely love them. And it wasn't a feature that you had to pay for. It was just standard with the trailer. Same with these jacks here. So these are stabilizing jacks. You have one on each side, so you have a total of 4. So you can see you have some here as well. And again, this is just came standard with the trailer, where other manufacturers make you pay for them, and they're the kind that you remove. Not with Valiant. So we've talked about the frame, we've talked about the chassis. Let's talk about the tires that it comes on. So out of the box, or the standard features on the trailer, came with a 31-inch tire. I needed this trailer to be garaged, so we opted to go with a smaller tire. So these are the Falcon Wild Peak ATs. It's a 235, I believe. Yeah, 235. Let's actually give you the full measurements here. So these are 235s, 65 16s. Typically they're 31 inches, but again, we did a lift reduction because it also came standard with I believe it was a 4-inch lift. We went no lift, axleless suspension with the smaller tire, and it fits absolutely perfect in the garage. Still plenty capable. You know, I think when you leave the 4-inch lift, it gives you about 21 inches of clearance from this fender flare, which also acts like a rock slider, which is really nice. From here to the bottom, it's about 15 inches or so. And then to the bottom of the trailer, so the bottom of the frame right there, it's about 12 inches. So you have plenty of clearance still, even with the reduction in the suspension and tire. It's more than I'll ever need, right? I think the industry standard right now, people are doing like 21-inch, 22-inch, clearance on these Overland trailers, and I just think it's overkill, and it ruins the Galley experience. That's just my humble opinion, but still plenty capable, still plenty of ground clearance for what I will be using this trailer for and what I use this trailer for. I don't rock crawl with my trailer, but I do like to get out, in remote spots. Anyway, back to the construction. So up top, excuse me, we have the lock and roll hitch. So this is an articulating hitch that moves 360 degrees. And you want something like that if you're taking the trailer off-road or taking it down some bumpy roads. This allows for the trailer to articulate, and honestly, even if you're not taking it off-road, it just rides so much nicer when you're out riding, when you're out towing your trailer. It's got the 7-pin connector, goes straight in there, and it'll trickle charge down to the batteries. And then we had this custom tongue box made by Valiant. So this is an aluminum tongue box, and it's about 60 inches wide, or excuse me, 60 inches long by 20, actually it's about 2.5 feet wide. 2.5 feet wide, 5 feet long, and a ton of stuff fits in here. And it seals really nice. These latches here just do a really nice job of sealing everything. As you can see, there's all this dirt in here, and none of it got in the actual box. Tons of space. There's a 12-volt outlet there, because originally how Valiant sells you these trailers is you can have a fridge on a slide in the tongue box, which is kind of the industry standard right now. Is there's this obsession with putting refrigerators in tongue boxes. I live in Texas, and these boxes, they're black aluminum. They get really hot, and they also add a lot of weight when you're packing your fridges, like a Dometic or a Truma. And so we opted to have ours put in the back in the galley, and then just allow all of space, for chairs, firewood, propane, extra things that we carry. And yeah, I'll show you on the other side too, guys. So this is a custom box. Again, this is not something that you can just go out and buy. It seals up really nice. It has these little latches, so dust and crap doesn't get in there. And again, it just sucks it shut. Really nice design. Absolutely love it. And then what we have for lights, so we have Rigid Industry scene lights. These are 1100 lumens. They're really bright, and so I put some amber overlays on them just because the lights are kind of overkill, and we just minimize the bugs and not to ruin your night vision. I put these amber overlays, and they've done a really nice job. as well. Let's see, exterior. Again, it has the max fan. Let's talk about the doors. So this has the Tern Overland Wildland doors. To me, these are the best doors in the industry. One, because they're really nice and big. They're not these tiny RV or, teardrop trailer doors. They're a really nice sized door, and they have dual function. Also, before I show you the dual function, these are on a bolt mechanism. So what this does is it actually sucks the door in. It's got double seals. So seals here, and it acts as like, a vacuum, and it shuts the door closed, and you don't have to worry about water intrusion or dust. As you can see, this thing's filthy. Went through multiple river crossings yesterday and nothing got in. And because Valiant did a custom job on this, and they know what they're doing, they framed the door on the inside, so nothing got inside. All the dust, all the dirt stays on the outside. And then I'll talk about the dimensions inside, but this is a queen size bed. It's a full queen, and you still have room to spare on the sides, but I just wanted to show you how well these doors actually seal and don't let anything in. So again, dual function, and what I mean by that is these unlatch. You have wire mesh on one end to, if you have this open at night, the critters won't come and get you. Probably won't stop a bear, but everything else in between, it will. There's mosquito net here, and then these just latch nicely on here. It holds your door open, and it provides really great cross ventilation with the other door on the other side. So they just seal up really nice, and again, nice ventilation. What I like to do is in the morning, open this up, sit down, got great views, and then, again, I'm 5'11", and you can see how much room I have just sitting down on the side rails here. Plenty of room, easy to crawl into the cabin, and I'll show you guys what that looks like here in a second. But again, really nice, robust doors by Tern Overland. And then we also have the Tern Overland dual pane acrylic windows. These are awesome windows. They're nice and big, let tons of air in and out. And they have a couple of functions that I'll show you when we get inside, but we have two of those, as you can see on the other side. And then moving on here, we have our box for our regulator for the propane. So the regulator and the hose are in here. And then we have an 11-pound propane tank. And this feeds our Propex furnace. So we have a furnace, and then we also have a stove in the galley, which this feeds. And then here is our AC exhaust. And yes, this does have AC, and I'll show you guys when we get inside. Pretty sweet. You guys just saw this aquatainer. So this trailer does not have water in terms of a water tank. So Valiant, you could option out a water tank. I wanted to keep it minimal. I don't like the idea of winterizing tanks and not getting all the water out. To me, it's just something else that can break and just another headache. So what I do is I just carry these 7-gallon aquatainers. I carry 2 of those to give me 14 gallons of water. I actually have 3 at home if I need to take more water. And these work phenomenally because you can just use them as a faucet. And if you run out of water, you can go into town and get some more water. Or if you're near a stream or a lake, you can fill these up and use these to maybe wash dishes or take, a camp shower. You carry like a Julka water heater / pump. So that's how I carry my water. And then here in the back, you have your submersible LED turn signals. So these are submersible, waterproof. And then the galley door, this is on the same latches that the tongue box uses. And they but they seal up everything really nice, just like the tongue box. It's the same concept. They do a really good job of pushing this door, it's double sealed, into the seals and just sealing up the area really nice so you don't have any water or dust issues, and I'll show you how that works here in a second. Full spare, like we talked about, that's a standard feature. These two vents are our AC intakes. So when you have the hatch closed, you can still use the AC. It'll suck in air through here, and then go into the AC, and then it'll vent out on the other side. It is primed for solar, so we have our Anderson plug here, and then your shore power here on this Norco outlet here. In terms of power, this trailer is powered by two 100 amp hour lithium batteries, so you can run off grid for a really long time, especially if you have solar. I have a solar panel. I didn't bring it on this trip because I'm not going to be out here for that long. And then finally we have our OVS 180 degree awning. Super great awning. Enjoyed it so far. Sometimes I don't really deploy it. I'll just find shade by a tree, or in this case I found a shade over by my 4Runner. I did have it out for a little while ago. But all right guys, let's go inside and let me show y'all the interior. So our doors, we're going to latch them. It's a little windy. We're going to use the latch there, and boom, this is our interior. So this is the interior of the Valiant trailer. It's a little messy. I went on a camping trip with the family, dropped them off, and now I'm out exploring. So pardon the mess, but let's talk about the dimensions a little bit before I go into the construction. So width-wise, we are at 62 inches in here. So a queen-size mattress is a queen-size tri-fold memory foam mattress. It's about 4 inches thick, and it fits really nicely in here. But the interior cabin, it's 62 inches wide and then by 82 inches long. So really nice space in here. This mattress fits perfectly. It actually gives you more space on the side to put like a book or, you know, water bottle or whatever. And then inside, like I mentioned, it is wood construction. So all of this is treated sealed birch. It smells phenomenally in here. And it's really, you know, robust, well-made interior. You know, the guys at Valiant, I'm pretty sure Jordan, you know, grew up in construction or making cabinetry, because this stuff is on another level. And then they see route everything perfectly. Everything's custom, perfect fit. You know, what's cool about this trailer, and I just want to talk about the construction of it before I go into the shelving and all that stuff. But what's really nice about this trailer, again, Valiant trailers started out in Alaska. And as you guys know, Alaska, they have some of the harshest winters around. And this trailer was designed with that in mind. So this is truly a 4-season camper. What you have in between the exterior and the interior is 1.5 inches of foam insulation. This thing gets really warm when you use the Propex. It holds heat really well, and it also keeps you cool when it's really hot outside. So really awesome design. And what I love about the wood construction is that it feels like a, you know, like a cozy cabin when you're in here. It's not all white composite, you know, panels, and it doesn't feel sterile in here. It feels like a you know, like a little tiny cabin, and I absolutely love that about it. And I know there's this stigma, you know, out there that wood construction's bad for design. You're going to have a lot of rot, you know, and I think it just depends on who's building a trailer and how the wood is being used. You know, you have trailers out there that use wood construction that have been around for 10-20 years. If you guys are familiar with Cosmo Weems and his trailer, you know, those vestibule trailers last forever. You know, it is what it is, guys. I personally have no issue with the wood construction. I think it has charm to it. But anyway, these we have cabinets up front. There are on these push latches, so nothing's rattling around, and you'll see these throughout the interior. Open them up, they're on soft close props. Kind of overthought and engineered, but they're on these. You got two up front, they're soft close hydraulic props, and then you have another one here, a big one. And this one has all my son's clothes that he left here, towels, tons of space. And then we have our Zero Breeze. Now, to the top of the cabin is about 55 inches. So I'm 5'11". I can actually kind of stand up in here if I bend over, and I can put on my pants, or I can sit on this bunk. So this was a custom bunk that was made for my son. It is 5 feet long by about 2 feet wide, and it's rated for over 200 pounds. I'm 160 pounds, and I can sit on this, put on my shoes, put on my boots, put on my pants. It's pretty awesome. So that's something that Valiant did for us. So they made this custom bunk, and then we have our pass-through galley there that has a nice little counter here, so you can put food or coffee or whatever it is. I'll show you guys when we go into the galley. Back here we have our porch lights. So those scene lights that I showed you, those rigid industry. We have a 1,000-watt inverter, so you can use household outlets, excuse me. We have a USB. We have our Propex heater. This runs off propane, and it's really efficient. It warms up this cabin really nicely. And then we have our max fan on controls. These are our intake for the for the Propex. That is where the hot air blows out. And then that's our Zero Breeze air conditioner. It works really nice in this area, provided it's not too humid outside. Absolutely love it. And because, you know, Valiant did a custom job for us, they actually plumbed all of the lines for the AC. And this is on a custom system where this doesn't shake and rattle in transit. It just fits in here beautifully. It's all plumbed, ready to go. And it works great. It actually does a really good job of keeping the space cold. Again, if it's not ridiculously hot and humid, it works perfectly. The Tern Overland windows, like I mentioned, these seal up really nice. Give you great visibility. They open up nice. You have your bug screen and your blackout shade. Absolutely love these windows. You can leave them open when it's raining. Water does not get in here. And they do a phenomenal job of ventilating as well. But yeah, that's the interior. Oh yeah, the lights. So these are on touch. These are touch controlled. They are dimmable and you can brighten them. And then they have the blue light function so you don't ruin your night vision, which is really nice as well. Yeah, guys, that's the interior here. That's the... Oh. And let's show you guys the galley. All right. So the sun's going down a little bit, which is good. It's been a hot day. But again, this hatch is on the same latch system that the tongue box is, and again it seals up really nice. And I'll talk a little bit about the hatch construction because I haven't seen a hatch construction like this on any trailer. But so the skeleton or frame of this is that powder coated steel that the frame of the trailer and the chassis are built of, and then there's again the foam insulation, which you can kind of see here, and then it's skinned both sides with that 0.8-inch aluminum, powder coated aluminum. And this door does such a nice job of just giving you an instant awning. You know, when you are wanting to cook, you get to camp and it's raining, you know, wife and kids go inside, you're out here, out of the elements, out of the water, and it's pitched. I don't know if you guys can tell, but it's pitched a little bit down so the water runs off. And then the way that the hinges work, there's no way water can get through in here. So awesome, awesome, awesome job. And really one of my favorite features, because other teardrop trailers, or the teardrop style, because it's not a box, it's more of a teardrop, the rear galley hatches often don't cover or give you enough cover from the elements. And this absolutely does, and does a really, really nice job. Like I was talking about, they kind of use the same design on the tongue box to keep the elements and the dust out of your galley. As you can tell here, yesterday I went through a lot of rough terrain, dust, mud, and nothing got into the actual galley. The galley is absolutely spotless because there's these double seals, and then there's this channel here that allows for water and everything else to just live outside, and then your galley itself is nice and pristine. But let's talk about the galley and all the awesome functions and amenities. So first things first, the pantry, right, where we keep all our food. They're on the same push button latches on hydraulic props. And this thing's massive, guys. You can keep all of your food here, food for weeks if you wanted to. This is where we keep our food. It's a little bit of a mess right now, but this is where we keep our plates as well. Bowls, pots, or actually pots, pans are down, no. Bowls, you know, salt, pepper, olive oil, just pantry. And again, it's a soft close and then just latches up. Down low, we have another drawer. This is where we keep our pots and pans. We also have a griddle down here, and it's on the same soft close mechanism, and then it latches, so nothing is going to open. And this isn't like flimsy, you know, composite board or, you know, things that you see on other trailers. This is robust, you know, same of that treated sealed birch. It's really nice. And then this counter is about 1.5 inch beech board beech block, really nice butcher block. It's robust, it's huge. I mean, it's not garbage, it's not crap. It's going to last a lifetime as long as we take care of it. Down here we have cutlery. So all our cutlery sits in here. Same idea, soft close on latches. And then here, what we opted to do is I had Jordan and his team do a custom slide out for the stove, because we also have the Dometic CFX 75. I'll try to do this with one hand. So this is the big one. This is the biggest fridge Dometic makes, and it fits nicely here in the back. They did have to bump up the counter here, which is not a big deal at all. Tons of space here. Honestly, we sometimes don't even use this space because this space is so massive. We have the fridge here, and then we have our stove here. So it kind of acts as a little island. And this runs off the propane. This is a Furrion 3-burner stove. It's a really nice stove, heavy duty. It's not flimsy, puts out tons of heat. Absolutely love it. But yeah, this is the galley setup. It's a pretty awesome place to be and cook and just enjoy making meals here. Again, same soft close technology. And then the fridge it's on a Dometic slide. Goes back in. A couple of things here. These are those same vents that I was talking about that draw in air. To be able to draw in air, because this is our zero breeze intake, so all the fresh air comes in through here, and then it pumps out the hot exhaust through there. So you can have your AC running with the hatch closed. Pretty awesome design. And then we have our pass-through. So this has that counter like I showed you all from the inside, and you can put, you know, plates, hot coffee. Kids, wife don't want to come out into the elements. They can stay inside nice and cozy and get a nice hot meal or a coffee passed to them. Pretty awesome. Here's our utility closet. So we can unscrew this board here, and inside you have access to the furnace, to all your electrical, to the batteries. You can access everything through here, and then it just seals up really nicely again. And then here's our power center. We have our breaker, we have our charging center. So we have a cigarette lighter outlet, we have USBs, household outlet, we have our battery kill switch, we have our lights, which again are similar to inside. These are touch lights, and they're dimmable as well. And then we have this LED, which is super bright too, so I put more of that amber overlay just to give us a nice warmer feel here. And then these control those those rigid industry scene lights, and we also have a switch on the inside that controls those. And then here we have our battery monitor, so it shows us, you know, just the pertinent information on there. Right now we're with the lights. The fridge is running. Right now the fridge is drawing 0.2 amps, so it's really not using a lot of energy at all. Really nice setup here. And we have our 1000-watt inverter. We turn that on if we want to use the outlets. And yeah, guys, that is the Galley. Really nice Galley. Oh, you also get a little hitch receiver here, so if you want to do like a bike rack or anything like that, you can do that. Standard option on this trailer. And then one thing I really like about this trailer too is just how they plumbed everything. So everything is really nice and clean underneath. There's no wires or things hanging out. Those right here that you see are exhausts for the Propex. But other than that, you know, this thing's built like a tank. I think it's going to last this quite a long time. Been super happy with this trailer. You know, it's a shame that, you know, Valiant isn't making these trailers anymore, and I really just wanted to do them justice by doing a review or overview of this trailer, because like I mentioned, I really do think they make one of the best trailers out there. And again, you've probably never heard of them, or if you have, there's not a lot of reviews or overviews online that you can see of these trailers. But if you have any questions or comments about the trailer, I'd be happy to answer those for you. But again, thanks for tuning in, guys, and we'll see you on the next one.